and welcome everyone. We're here today with Florida Closing and Escrow. We're mobile, multilingual, and assist you with your closings from contract to closing. My name is Cindy Mirapole, 786-457-6832. I'm the marketing liaison, and today we have a special guest speaker, Tanya with Old Republic Title. And our topic today is Chat GPT for real estate. So without further ado, welcome, Tanya.
Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Again, my name is Montana Thigpen. I am the Director of Education for Old Republic Title. And in this class, we are going to discuss ChatGPT for real estate agents. It's going to give you a little bit of the overview of what ChatGPT really does, things that it helps real estate agents with for their business, some things we shouldn't be doing with ChatGPT, and some fun, interesting information about ChatGPT. So our goals today is what is ChatGPT, how to create a ChatGPT account if you haven't already, how to use ChatGPT for real estate for ChatGPT, and then list of uses that ChatGPT and real estate can help you with, and then also some alternatives for real estate agents and some functions that ChatGPT does. So what is ChatGPT? So the big question here is a lot of people don't understand how ChatGPT really works. So basically how the system was created is it basically went into the system of everything online and pulled data, pulled information, pulled questions, pulled articles and graphs and really humongous computer system so that when you go onto ChatGPT and ask it a prompt, it pulls everything from the internet to give you that response. So just understand it's compiled a lot of data from a lot of different resources. It's not just from one resource. So because I have a lot of agents say, "Hey, should I source, ChatGPT as something where I got it?" Hard to do because again, every piece of information from your response from ChatGPT again is pulling it from all these different resources. So that's one of the things you kind of have to be aware of. But ChatGPT is an AI powered tool that paraphrases and generates custom text based on all of your needs. So there is a free version and a paid version, and we'll kind of go over that. And then also, it was founded in 2018. Most people think, or most people heard of it, not until the end of 2023. So it's actually been out for a couple of years, and it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we'll go over the different variations that has improved over the years since AI has kind of started. So this I thought was a pretty interesting fact. So time it took to reach 1 million users. So it took Netflix 3.5 years, Facebook 10 months, Spotify 5 months, Instagram 2.5 months, and it took ChatGPT 5 days. So that is and funniest thing is that ChatGPT again is not a social media platform. It's not anything that you post on. It's not anything that you bring customers to or you show customers. It literally is helping perfect your business. So that's why I find it fascinating that this not being a social media platform, that it grew that many users. And it's actually already at, I believe, 1.6 or 1.7 billion at this point. So, I mean, that was taken in 2022. So in less than 2 years, it's where it's at. So here's a little timeline for you to kind of understand how the launches have been happening with ChatGPT. So like I said, it started in 2018, and that was the first release. ChatGPT 2 was in 19. ChatGPT 3 had two versions. It kind of had a 3 and a 3.5 in 2020. 2022, it had a 3.5 final, right? And then in 2023, it just finished up with ChatGPT 4. But I have a feeling before the end of 2024, we are going to get ChatGPT 5. So what that should tell you guys is the reality is that the brain of ChatGPT is growing exponentially. meaning the amount of information it is learning, picking up, and holding in these huge vats of storage is improving again and again and again. So the capability of it in just another year is unfathomable. I don't even know what could possibly happen, but I'm very sure it's going to be extensive on the amount of information it can. So how do you sign up for ChatGPT? This is pretty simple. So I recommend that you have one account, but you have it on two separate platforms. One platform you need to have it is on your PC, and the other platform is you have an application on your cell phone. Reason being is that when you are in a pickle or in a jam or need some creative juices to flow very quickly, that's why you want the application on your phone so you can prompt it, ask it some questions, not questions, prompt it to give you some responses very quickly on your phone, copy and paste it, and put it where you need it. Now, your PC version, at least how I use it. So I have, two different computers, and in those two different computers, right, I'll have my workstation on one and ChatGPT on the other. So that way I have a workstation where I can actually see it in big print, and I'm able to kind of copy and paste it and put it into different formats on my on my PC, other than just on my little cell phone. So that's one of the things that I do. Now, understanding of the free version and the paid version. So I have the paid version, and it's $20 a month. The free version, you have to understand, it is still behind by 2 years. So it doesn't give you all the answers that you need for all the questions and all of the prompts that you are asking it for, because it's a free version, right? So they're not going to give you the best and latest and most desirable stuff. So if you feel like you are an agent that I'm going to use it enough that I'm going to pay the $20 a month. So with the paid version, it is absolutely up. And when there's any updates, it is automatically updated for you. On the free version, I believe you have to push a button to kind of get it to update. But like it says, it's a faster response time for the paid version. You get priority access to all new features. You the availability when the demand is high, meaning when there's a lot of people on this platform, the paid people get access better and faster than the people who don't pay for the version. So that is one thing to consider. Here is some interesting facts about ChatGPT for you to know. So it was founded by Sam Altman. He is the CEO of Microsoft. So also it was co-founded by Elon Musk. Elon Musk put a very, very hefty paycheck into kind of getting ChatGPT up and running and all of those things. So, like I said, the user count is now 1.6 billion. When that little tweet was on a couple slides ago, and it said it was 1 million. So now there is a billion users. The use of ChatGPT actually is 15.6 times more than any other country. And the reason being that is, this is my personal opinion, but I think us as Americans, we're a little more lazier. I think we love convenience and we love getting responses and things very quickly in our life. And other countries, and there's an also reason. So other countries, not all countries have access to ChatGPT, and that's one of the things. It is the most powerful language processing AI model, which is 175 billion parameters. So what that means is that there is 175 billion possible responses back for every prompt that you tell ChatGPT, which is phenomenal. So you are 200 characters, or give it to me in a funny humor, or whatever you prompted, more and more and more answers to that response, which is kind of cool. And then, like I said, ChatGPT is expected to go into 2024, the end of 24 or 25. So now let's discuss all of the great features that ChatGPT offers you as a real estate agent. So we're going to go in, and I'm going to explain all these in details on every slide so that you'll have it. But one of course, is writing property listings, creating email, social marketing stuff, personalizing property emails and listings, improving emails and texts, writing scripts, simple coding to fixing bugs and creating algorithms. That is on the paid version. You can't get that on the free version. Enhancing customer support, translating emails, summarizing long abstract documents. This is actually what I use it for quite oftenly. Drafting legal documents, and then generating ideals and topics off the cuff, which again, I think will come in handy for you as a real estate agent. So how do you use ChatGPT in real estate? So given that ChatGPT, I'm telling you, is in its infancy, meaning it is only a couple years old and it's in its infancy with real estate information, data, knowledge, statistics, so forth and so on. So ChatGPT wasn't created just for real estate, right? It was created for every possible company in the world to utilize it. So to compile data for just real estate, the free version only goes back to 2022. And the newer version goes back, I believe, to 2019 or 2018. So there's the difference on getting some data. Now, is this going to improve over the course of years? 100%. This just means that right now it's still collecting information. It's still collecting knowledge, right? To build its database on everything about the various, information stuff about real estate as a given. Okay. So we're going to talk about some prompts, because this is actually the most important reason when using ChatGPT that you are going to want to change how you ask ChatGPT to give you what you want. In Google, it's a little different, right? Because we say, where's a local restaurant? You're not going to ask ChatGPT where a local restaurant is. You're going to ask it, where's a local restaurant in Savannah, Georgia, off of, right? You got to be very detailed in the prompts that you give ChatGPT versus Google in general. So getting the best responses for ChatGPT starts with entertaining the right prompts, okay? So the more information you give, the better ChatGPT responses will be. So for example, when asking for a listing description, include details about the type of property, location, features. My suggestion to you, and we'll talk about it a little later, that you should actually pre-write out your listing description and then have ChatGPT fluff it up, make it a little more enhanced, but to not take your creative style. That's what I don't want you to do with ChatGPT. So include a tone with ChatGPT. So mimic a professional conversation, funny, etc. So you can even tell it to write like a specific person, i.e., write me a listing description like Tom Ferry, write me a listing description like Tom Cruise, right? So that, and these are really, really funny. I think you would enjoy them. So also, if ChatGPT is too wordy, which it usually is, anytime you prompt it something, it's going to give you the longest response. Say, give me 5 examples, give me 2 paragraphs, give me 250 characters, because if not, it's going to give you a lot of information for you to have to read through. So it's better under those circumstances. So also act like somebody. So 5 examples: act like a first-time home buyer, act like an investor, act like somebody purchasing land, right? Kind of cool that you can kind of make your writing style to target specific buying populations or groups, okay? So also provide text. For example, I'm a real estate agent that sells luxury property in Sarasota. Give me 5 examples of whatever you're asking for, okay? So I also give you a YouTube link here that is kind of some cool information that you can find on YouTube. My knowledge is very superficial on the comparison to what ChatGPT is really starting to be able to do. So if you want to really learn more about ChatGPT, this is an opportunity for you to kind of go and check it out, which is really, really cool. So this is where we get into listing descriptions, right? How many on here have used ChatGPT for listing descriptions? Anybody use it yet for listing descriptions? Anybody? No? Okay. So if you haven't used it for listing descriptions, like I said before, I really want you to write out the listing description yourself. Um, because you have a vision of how you want it, right? And you've been doing it a long time. So I would say, like, this is one of them that you can do. So write a listing description for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Madre Loop, Calgary. The house is on a quiet street, has a newly updated kitchen with granite countertops, a gas stove. The house is a remodeled bungalow with a double garage. Also highlight the big backyard that is close to shopping and cafes. Make it 280 characters. Write as a first-time home buyer. That's what you would do at the bottom of that to get a little more information from that listing description. Another thing that I think ChatGPT does a really good job at is script creation. So if you are a person that really likes to do cold calls, likes to call people, this is something that you should really, really think about, right? Because you can have ChatGPT create you kind of like bullet points on how do I talk to for sale by owners? How do I, call somebody? How do I make a cold call to somebody who has an expired listing? This is kind of cool. So you can have ChatGPT create you kind of a script, and it will kind of ease the pressure you might have when you are making these phone calls to consumers to kind of get some leads going. So it might definitely help you out a little bit. This one is by far, I think, something you should use it for, which is ideal generation. So this is something, as a real estate agent, we usually went to our broker, or we talked to like seasoned veteran agents, or we found stuff on Google. Like, how do we come up with marketing ideals? How do we get people interested in our services, right? So ask it, right? So this one was a lead ideal generation. So what are some marketing ideals for a real estate agent? What are some social media strategies for a real estate agent? What is the best performing blog content? What are lead magnet ideals? And these are some of the things it came up with. Create a home maintenance checklist. Offer home maintenance checklist for potential clients. A real estate market reports, right? Virtual home tours, first time home buying seminars. The list goes on and on and on. When I ask for for it to generate ideals, I don't tell it to only give me 5. I want as many as possible because I want to read through them and see how valuable some of this information is. Okay. Now, we don't have an excuse not to be able to create, emails that we can send out in our CRM. And this is, you can create, emails, especially maybe you're having an issue with, them negotiating a price or lowering a price, or maybe you want to do an email introduction for yourself so that people have a chance to get to know you, right? So you can ask ChatGPT, right, to create these emails. Like this one was a subject line: your next offer awaits. Dear subject, welcome to your journey of your new office space. Thank you for expressing interest in your property, our property retail website. We understand that you currently have active leases in your office space and you're looking for your next square space. So it's kind of, you can get all of these crafted emails created that you can put into your CRM and target all of your consumers, right? So that is really, really an awesome feature that this has. I think it definitely comes in handy. Another option to think about is utilizing it to create any type of video script from TikTok to YouTube. My suggestion to you, right, is to search those two platforms to find the most creative real estate videos that are performing very, very well. Okay, because that's the point, right? If it's the music algorithm, if it's the content that they're producing, right? There's a reason that people are tuning in and watching it. So your objective is to see what ones are high performing and then have ChatGPT create the script for you, right? Because you're going to create it in your own personality and your own mannerisms. You're going to probably pick different music. But I think for a lot of agents, right, they don't have that creative mind where they can say, gosh, I want to create a video, but I don't know what to create. So ChatGPT can help you create these types reels, right? Reels and shorts and all of those things that we need so vitally on social media for us as real estate agents to be seen and heard. I think will come in handy for sure. So I know blogs are a little outdated, right? For most people, right? A lot of people don't read a lot of blogs. So, but you can get ChatGPT to create them for you. My suggestion would be not to create a 5 paragraph blog. My suggestion to you would be create a 2 paragraph blog with a lot of pictures, right? Kind of like a newsletter. So, same thing, but you can get it to write a blog about a topic of your to do list, but it always gets pushed to the next week, next month. Well, then you are like most agents in real estate. You'll have a lead to go from, client inquiries, buyer's appointments, everything in between, right? We understand that. So if you're putting off a blog post, ChatGPT can write it for you. So ask it, write me a 500-word blog post about when and why you should get pre-approval for a mortgage before starting to shop for a home, right? Ask it to perform the best CEO practices. Or you can ask it, um, what are the 5 stages of home buying, right? I mean, you can get a lot of this stuff pre-made for you so that you can send it out and your consumers can have a chance to read it. Because at the end of the day, right, it's all about the touches that you make with your consumers over and over again, right? Until they unsubscribe, they are paying attention to you. They still are accepting the information that you're sending them. They still like the information you're sending them. And again, it's a way for you to continue to stay in contact with them over and over again. This probably is one of the things that I enjoy the most, right? How do you get people's attention, right? How do you get people hooked on an email? How do you get them hooked on a post? Right? You do something kind of outlandish. So this is write 5 funny Facebook taglines for buyers looking to buy their first home. Here's what they came up with. Tired of paying rent? Make your landlord cry and get your own place. Say goodbye to living with roommates and hello to living with your cat. Your parents are begging you to move out, and we're here to help. So sick of your neighbor's terrible music? Time to find a new place. These are funny. They're kind of out there. They're kind of pushed in your face. These would be something that would catch people's attention. So have it create subject lines for an email that you're sending out. Use these taglines to write for your Facebook posts, right? Use it for your blog post or an email that you're sending out. These are all great opportunities for you to be seen and heard from real estate agents all around, which would be great. Another thing I would love for agents to utilize this for is keyword research. So, keyword research is so generally, most people, what they did is they paid Google AdWords to come up with keywords that most people were searching for real estate. And there's a list of those words, right? So, most people would pay Google, they would pick price associated with that word. So normally, when you go onto Google, the first 3 uh, kind of ads that show up are ads. People are paid for those. So when you click on them, the consumer is charged a certain amount because, sorry, the business is charged a certain amount because the consumer typed that word into the Google search box and their ad showed up. Okay. So now you don't have to do that. So I would ask it, list me 50 keywords for real estate in Sarasota for 2025. And then what you do is you take those words and you utilize them in all the things that you post, whether you say it verbally, whether you write it in a post, whether you put it in an email. Reason being is that when these people are on these search engines, YouTube, TikTok, and Google, and they type it in, your stuff is going to start showing up and you didn't pay any money for it. Most consumers don't even click on the first 3 ads. They click on the stuff right below it. So just keep that in mind. But keyword ideals for your specific market can be a game changer on how people find you. And it's pretty awesome to have. Now, I believe every agent still needs a newsletter. You still need a way to stay in contact with past clients. And my suggestion to writing a newsletter is not centric to you. It's not about you, right? You want to focus your emails towards information that will help your consumer or about the community or about dog parks in the area, or new construction that's happening, or the best bourbon restaurants in your community. That is consumer focused, right? And then, yes, you can send emails when you have new listings, right? Or open houses or broker opens. Yes. But your objection in sending a newsletter is about them. What do you think the consumer wants to know about, Sunny Isle? What do you think they want to know about the community and the restaurants and the nightlife? That is where you want to create it. So write me a newsletter about the current state of the real estate market, right? Write me a newsletter about the top 50 top rated restaurants in Sunny Isle. That would be great. So, and again, you're going to keep that newsletter about 2 to 3 paragraphs, and you're going to put a lot of pictures or videos in there because that is what's going to capture people's attention. So, you're on the right path by doing that for sure. So this is what I use it for a lot, which is summarizing long documents into short abstracts. So basically what that means, so say I work for corporate America, and I get a lot of emails from a lot of different resources in my company, and sometimes they're very, very long, and I don't have the bandwidth or the energy for the day to do that. So I will copy and paste it into ChatGPT, and I will say summarize in 1 paragraph. I will say summarize in 15 words. And that way it gives me an understanding of what that email is about. And then I can respond back, hey, Jeff, thank you for the update on, the new sales rep coming in. I'll go, right? And then when you have time, you can go back and read it if you want, but at least you have the summary of what that email is, and it will save you lots of time and energy for sure. Now, no one knows, most people don't know, but ChatGPT has one of the best email translations. I think it is better than Google Translate. So if you work with foreign clients, if you work with, just clients in general that speak a different language that maybe you don't speak, and you want to make sure that that communication is easier, right, to get the message across, ask them, hey, would you want me to translate into your own language when I respond back? What a blessing that would be, right? So because then now they don't have to translate it back, right? It comes in their language, and they would probably really, really appreciate it coming from you. So again, you can do all email and text translates in, and I'm talking about whatever language is out there. I have looked, and there's so many different languages that you can utilize ChatGPT for. So it's kind of cool. So this is one of the things that is kind of scary about ChatGPT now, and it's kind of full force with a lot of companies. So enhanced customer support really means is that when you go onto a website now, and you see these bots that pop up, hi, this is Sandra, how can I help you? That is all AI. That is all computer programmed customer support. So you can now actually get AI to work with your emails. So say there was a slew of emails that kind of waste your time. And I'm not saying they waste your time, but I'm saying that they're kind of daunting, and you don't, you want to make sure it's really a lead. And one of those ones for sure is someone who emails you and says, hey, I saw your listing. Is it still available? Right? So you would kind of program this through ChatGPT, and they would answer, but I have available times at blah, 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 blah. Okay. Person responds back, oh, yes, I'd love to see it at this time, blah, blah, blah. Great. The ChatGPT sends back another email. Great. Click on the link here to secure your spot for that showing. Great. They click on the link. Now, right, the agent goes, perfect. So now the agent gets this information, calls them back up and says, great, I just got your confirmation for the showing at 4 p.m. on Monday for that house. I'm looking forward to meeting you, right? So now the introduction. So you didn't have to waste, that time answering those emails. And it could be a slew of stuff. You can actually put this onto your website where people come to your website, a chat box comes up and it says, hey, Sarah, is there anything on my website you're looking for? Right? Yes, I'm looking for new listings in, Sunny Isle. Oh, great. So that's the third box there. It will say new listings in Sunny Isle. Please click on there and see if I can help you with anything else. So these are kind of automated things that happen, but they are super, super beneficial. So just think about that. Now, one of the things that we should never do, so the next couple of slides are going to be some things we probably want to pay attention more to, but do not draft legal documents. We are not lawyers, right? We have great title companies that have lawyers on premise that do this for us. So the only time you should ever draft a legal document is if you want, you're telling your sons to take out the trash, or you're renting, you're subleasing your rental in your apartment. Yeah, you can do that too, right? But just anything that's real estate related, I would advise highly not to do it. Now, can ChatGPT create it? Yes, but it does not follow fair housing. The verbiage is not that great. And it doesn't adhere to the real estate standards. So just know that if you can do one for fake to test it out to see what comes up with, but I would advise you not to do that. Current market stats, right? So yet anyways, it only goes back to September of 2021. So anything past that, it cannot get accurate data on. And this is for the free version. Now, again, the paid version, I want to believe it is 2018 or 2019. So it might go back a year or two to give you some of that statistical information. But you are always going to want to double check this information with local vetted sources, right? Sources that are real estate related that give you these updates, NAR, HAR, right? Realtors associations, things of that nature. So just make sure you look at those and check those. Just to make sure that the data is accurate, because I would hate for you to put something out there and it to be absolutely wrong. Okay. So one of the things that we have to be aware of now with ChatGPT is that website content. So what Google is doing is they're saying, hey, we don't want you using a chat bot to copy and paste and create a website from. And reason being is because it is plagiarized, it is fake content, and we can't source it. We don't think it's real. So put together a website for you. Just make sure that they are not copying pasting from ChatGPT to your website. And what will happen is ChatGPT, Google will basically suppress that website or not show it. So people will be looking for your website and now they can't see it. So if you are going to do that, your best thing to do is do something called talk to text. So you can read verbatim what ChatGPT is doing, because Google is looking for a keystroke. So if you do talk to text, it's tapping on the computer screen, and you'll be better off doing that. Okay. Or just type it in yourself, especially if you are using a website to do it. So just make sure about that. One of the things we absolutely don't want to do is put confidential data, like real contracts, customer data, into ChatGPT. Okay. Um, and again, I know people are like, well, I can Google this person's name and find out that information. I get it. But the issue with ChatGPT is it's private privacy policy, right? Some of these countries, especially Italy and Europe, that's the reason why they do not allow their citizens to use ChatGPT, because it cannot protect their privacy. Meaning, if you were to put in the address to a listing, you know, for a listing that's close to your address that you put in before, that can be their answer. And then it'd be kind of shocking for someone to say Anna Smith at da da da, right? So my whole thing is try to keep that out there. Don't use real people's names. Don't use real people's information. Definitely don't put in social security numbers or phone numbers or things like that. Just be mindful of the information that you put in there. Okay. So last but not least, these are some of the things that I want you to be very, very aware of. So with ChatGPT, right, it doesn't have any human oversight. So far, the things that I've tested, it doesn't follow fair housing. It has some spelling errors sometimes. It's not perfect. I mean, again, we are human and we make mistakes. So do computer software programs. They are not perfect. Um, I see in the future, to be honest, that if agents do not double check the data or information that they're posting or putting in emails or whatever the case may be, they could possibly be sued. So just be mindful of all the things that you put out. Ask a colleague to look it over, right? Ask your broker, especially if it's real estate related. Now, again, if it's something personal that you're putting out, no big deal, right? But if it is something that you're putting out to consumers to read, make sure that you really, really, really double check all of these things going forward. So I put in one bonus thing here, and that bonus thing is that if you don't know anything about ChatGPT and you want to just see what it can do, ask it this, right? Give me 20 ways to creatively market myself as a real estate agent. We are in a trying time in our real estate market, right? We had great couple years with COVID, and now COVID is gone. Now we have a new election coming up, and now we have the NAR settlement coming in August. Things are going to change. So I think some of the best things that you can do is start heavily promoting yourself now. And then lastly, one of the things is, how do I show appreciation for past clients? One of the things that you have to be open to is knowing that you have to stay in contact with any of your past clients. That should be your revolving door. That should be the opportunity for you to have multiple deals coming your way when the market gets crappy, right? Because if you've built a great CRM and you've kept in contact with a lot of these people, then that should come very naturally. So again, if those are the two things that you are, selective of, or that you want to know that ChatGPT can do to help you with your business, those are one of them. Another thing we were going to discuss before we kind of end is some of the bad stuff that's happening with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is doing something called spoofing, and it's been around for a long time, but it's more advanced now with ChatGPT. And it really targets real estate agents because you guys don't have a secure email. Unlike my email with my title company, it's like Fort Knox for anybody to get into my email. And we have a division that is solely, focused on protecting my data and everything in my computer. So what this spoofing thing does actually, right, is it gets into a real estate agent's computer, especially through their emails, and it follows. And again, it's the software that does it, but it basically follows maybe your contract from start to finish. And when it comes to the point where somebody is asking for a wire transfer, this is when the AI boogeyman comes in, sends looks like an email from you to your title company saying, "Oh, I need to change the wiring instructions. Here's where I need it to be wired to." Now, if and luckily most title companies can catch it, right? But it happens, it slips through. So most title closing agents will definitely say, that's weird. Let me email the agent back and see if this is something they sent me. That is the perfect thing that will happen because the agent will say, no, I didn't send you anything like that. Uh-oh, right? Your email has been hacked and this is the information they got, right? Another spoofing thing that they're doing is they're infiltrating cell phones. And again, I don't know the technology. I don't know how they are doing it, but they're getting into your cell phones. They are um, they are mirroring someone's face and voice, and then they FaceTime you, and it's like, "Hey, Sarah," and then the video is not that great, and you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" "Oh, not much. What are you doing?" Right? So it gives you 10 seconds of you using your voice, right? And they'll ask you some specific questions, and they're recording your voice. So then what they do is they spoof your face, and now they have your voice. Then they go back into your call list and they call your mom and your grandparents, right, to get money for extortion. So these are the things that can happen through some of this AI stuff, right? So we have to be very vigilant. They're already doing robocalling, which means you can hire an AI company to mimic your voice, and you can go through a call list and call people and it sounds just like you, but it's a recording to get people to, for sale by owners or anything like that. So the advancement is kind of crazy. It's really, really scary what it's capable of doing. So um, that is the presentation. Cindy has the PowerPoint, and if not, I'll resend it over to her so that she can send it to you so that you have a copy of this. And again, on the very last slide, there is my contact information. If you have any further questions regarding ChatGPT, I'd be glad to go over with it with you or answer any questions that you may have. And I'll turn it back to Cindy. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you so much for a terrific presentation. We greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, again, you can contact us. And again, we're here for your real estate success. We will be doing more presentations in the future. You can let us know any topics that you might be interested in for lead generation, etc. And again, I'm with Florida Closing and Escrow. We are 5 stars. We're located in Sunny Isles as our main base, but we also have other locations and we are mobile. And John Iwanu has been voted top 50 real estate attorneys in America. And we have excellent attorneys in addition and a great team to assist you from contract to closing. And our goal is your real estate success. So again, thank you all for joining us today and have a great weekend and be in touch. We're here to help.
Bye, everybody.
786 457 6832. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.